man called the woman with hot tears and crying. At this moment, he just wants to hear the woman's voice. But this time, Annie didn't answer Decker's call because she had an important appointment. She accepts an invitation to have dinner with a man who has been pursuing her for 2.5 years. After all, life has to move on, and she doesn't want to be stuck in the house of her youth. Compared to Decker, Ian was neither handsome nor rich, and his conversations were often boring to Annie. But it was this honest and simple man who made her feel more at ease than ever before. So on this rainy night, she accepted his confession. For the next year, Annie rejected all of Decker's calls. She quit her restaurant job and became a secondary school teacher. Although her life with Ian was poor, at least it was stable and reassuring, one step at a time. Unlike Annie, Decker was at a low point in his life. His mother died of cancer. His career, which he had once been so proud of, was also in tatters. His flamboyant performances were no longer applauded, but rather ridiculed. He became paralyzed by alcohol and drugs, often staying up all night and rushing to work. Although his life was still rich and colorful, he felt an overwhelming sense of emptiness at the end of the night. He wanted to meet Annie, but she always said she didn't have time. Her class won the gold medal for drama. It was as if she'd left her life behind. But every weekend night, she would stay in front of the TV and watch that familiar and unfamiliar face. It was as if they were in different time and space, only peeping through the screen. Time came to the 15th of July, 1996. On this day, the two of them, who hadn't seen each other for 3 years, agreed to meet again. Annie knew that Ian was a bit jealous, so she politely said she could not go. Ian still agreed to meet Decker, but his smiling face had a kind of unspeakable heartache. In this relationship, he has always been in a weak position. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't really get into Annie's heart. That night, Annie was dressed up and Decker was still handsome, but they were no longer their young selves. This time they were not as happy as they thought they would be. They don't talk about their hard times and sorrows like they used to, but portray their false good life against their will. At first, the two of them were talking to each other, but soon they started to make sarcastic remarks. Decker said that people with ability do great things, while those without ability go to teach. Annie heard the sarcasm and left in anger. Knowing he'd messed up, Decker went after him to explain, but that triggered Annie's pent-up emotions. She's had enough of this flippant, soulless man. She just wanted out of Decker's world. She'd wanted to talk to Decker about herself. She was sick of being stuck in the rented house with a man she didn't love. She said, "What's the point of this friendship if we don't open up?" Knowing that the man in front of her is not the same person she once was, she turns around and leaves. Decker tries desperately to stay, apologizing all the time. Annie stopped, turned around, and walked up to him and hugged him. Decker thought she had forgiven him. Annie said, "I love you, but I don't like you anymore." Then she left. This time, Annie never looked back. Looking at Annie's back, Decker felt that he had lost the whole world. In the following 4 years, Annie and Decker were like the parallel lines. They lost contact with each other completely. Annie fell in love with swimming and accepted Ian's proposal. She was earning more and more money from her articles and was on her way to realizing her dream. Annie came home that day to find Ian drunkenly reciting a familiar poem. It was a love poem she wrote to Decker when she was young. He accidentally came across Annie's diary, and every word in it reminded him that he was the third party in the relationship. When they calmed down, they came to the conclusion they were glad they weren't married yet. In the end, not being able to see the future, they chose to break up peacefully. Unlike Annie's ups and downs, Decker hit rock bottom this year. The once valiant young man became a greasy uncle, no longer loved by the audience. He was ruthlessly eliminated by the TV station. Luckily, he still has a rich girlfriend. In order to maintain a good life, he decided to put down his face. After all, he can't even give up his money for the sake of face. When he saw Annie again, it was the day of his classmate's wedding. At the wedding, Decker saw the girl who used to be all about him. Compared to 4 years ago, Decker didn't seem to have changed much, while Annie had a more mature flavor. They talked about each other's lives and avoided all topics related to love. At the end of the day, Decker took out his wedding invitation. He's planning to marry his girlfriend next month. Annie gave him a hug. In a corner where he couldn't see, she used a smile to cover up her despair. She knew it was time for her feelings for him to end, probably because she didn't want the scene to be too awkward. Annie made a rare joke. She asked Decker, "Do you know who the father of your fiancé's baby is?" They were amused by the joke. She hid her disappointment with a smile and generously wished Decker many grandchildren. A year later, Decker became a father. He took a job offered to him by his wife, working in the back of the kitchen of a restaurant owned by her friend. He tried to do everything right, to be a good father. What he didn't know was that Annie's joke on the rooftop would come true a year later. His wife had already cheated on him with his boss. On the 15th of July 2003, Decker chose to leave his family and came to London to visit Annie. By this time, Annie was already a famous writer. Her short, clean-cut hair made her look even more refreshing. Before Decker could make his intentions clear, he met Annie's suitor. Watching Annie embracing with that man, he seemed to have lost something important in his heart. He was a jazz musician, and he looked good with Annie. Decker knew it was time for him to leave. The moment he turned away, Annie had a bad feeling. Maybe after this parting, they would never see each other again. When she thought of this, she couldn't hold back her emotions any longer. She chased after him and stopped Decker on the banks of the Seine. She showed Decker how she felt. They kissed as if no one was watching. A love that lasted 15 years and was finally consummated. This love seems to have come late, but it seems to have come at the right time. The young man who has been in love for so long has finally seen his own heart. And the young girl who has been in love for the first time finally opens up her heart. So is there really a true friendship between men and women? Time tells the right answer. On the 15th of July 2006, Decker practiced his marriage proposal in his cafe, ready to write the perfect answer to his love. Although Annie was exhausted from her work, but Decker's plan to propose to her was still something she was looking forward to. So when she got home, she couldn't wait to speed up to her date with her beloved. But when she didn't notice the moving lorry at the next junction, she was senselessly knocked off her feet. The expectant girl fell on her way to love. Her remaining consciousness was only enough to support her slightly squirming eyeballs. She died in the streets of romantic Paris. She died on the day Decker loved her most. Decker lay in agony and despair. A year had flown by, but Decker was still living on the 15th of July 2006. Every time he sees a woman who looks like Annie, he can't help but talk to her, and then he's pushed to the ground. When his ex-wife saw Decker on the floor, she took him home with her, covered in bruises. On the way, his daughter timidly pushed away his bloody hand. The timid look in her eyes seemed to announce that Decker's soul was dead. Afterwards, he drifted off to sleep, and when he woke up again, he found himself back in his original home. His unsmiling father had prepared dinner for him. The two of them watched an unknown program and chatted. His father didn't blame him for anything. He just advised him to pull himself together and live a good life, as if Annie was still with him. He asked his father, "Can you do it?" "I don't know if I can." His father said of course he could, otherwise how could he have come through these 10 years? Decker then realized that his father had been suffering from the same pain as him. The year 2009 rolled around. Decker's hair was already gray when he was less than 40 years old. From the look on his face, it's easy to see that he's moved on from his past. He still runs this unassuming coffee shop because Annie's presence is in every part of the shop. Sometimes he thought back, if they hadn't made that stupid promise that night, if they had been braver, would everything have been different? There are some things you don't know until you've experienced them, and by the time you know them, the person is long gone. If you're in your prime now, I hope you never let go of the hand that's clasped in yours. I am BullDog Movie. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.